The Haunting of Hill House takes place over a single week in rural 1950s in America. Dr. John Montague is the psychic researcher who investigates the adventure in Hill House. An anthropologist and doctor of philosophy, Dr. Montague's true passion lies in the study of supernatural phenomena. Dr. Montague seeks out assistants to join him for a summer stay in Hill House. He combs through the records of psychic societies and paranormal laboratories to obtain a short list of 12 promising candidates. To each of these, he writes a letter of invitation. He is a circumspect man and didn't write on his letters that Hill House is haunted. He refers to troubling rumors about the house, hoping to capture the imagination of just the right sort of assistant. From this exhaustive search, Dr. Montague needs two assistants, Eleanor Baines and Theodora. Eleanor is invited because of her past experience with this phenomenon. Theodora is valuable to Dr. Montague because she took some laboratory tests to gauge her psychic ability. The final member of the party is Luke Sanderson, a rakish young man whose family owns Hill House. He is sent alone to ensure that no one steals the family silver. From the moment they arrive, they can each sense the malevolence of the house. Eleanor and Theodora both chose to accept Dr. Montague's invitation for personal rather than professional reasons. Theodora has a huge fight with her female roommate and thinks that summer in the country at Hill House might be the best way to cool off their overheated tempers. Eleanor decides to take Dr. Montague up on his offer in hopes of having an adventure. When her sister and her husband refuse to let Eleanor drive the car to Hill House, Eleanor sneaks out early one morning and takes the car without any permission. Eleanor spends the journey to Hill House dreaming of living in the various houses she passes along the way. She hopes that, finally, something interesting will happen to her at Hill House. An old song echoes in her mind as she approaches Hill House. The song's refrain is, "Journeys end in lovers' meeting." Eleanor is the first to arrive and she is greeted by Mr. and Mrs. Dudley, the caretakers of Hill House. Mr. Dudley warns Eleanor away and Mrs. Dudley advises her that no one will hear if Eleanor screams for help in the night. Given this chilly reception and the palpable evil she can sense in the house, Eleanor is terrified to be alone in the huge old house. Thankfully, Theo arrives in short order and her sunny presence mitigates the gloom of Hill House. She and Eleanor set off to explore the grounds before it grows dark. They become fast friends as they walk. Eleanor quickly realizes that Theo is highly perceptive. Theodora picks up on Eleanor's social awareness and fear and treats her with gentle kindness. Suddenly, Eleanor becomes alarmed by something in the shadows. Theo feels too, and the two women race back to the relative safety of Hill House. When they arrive back at the house, they see Luke for the first time. Eleanor thinks to herself, "Journeys end in lovers' meeting." Dr. Montague welcomes them all inside, and that night the four some convenience for the first time in the room, which is to become their headquarters. The room with its fireplace is the coziest room in Hill House, yet it falls short of actually being cozy. The group does its best to live up the haunted house with their high spirits. Everyone is looking forward to their adventure and they spend their time together convivially. In the spirit of adventure, no one of them discusses their ordinary mundane lives. Eleanor, Theo, Luke, and Dr. Montague all introduce themselves playfully, making up entertaining stories about their supposed past. Nevertheless, the first night ends well. Although Eleanor chides herself for being so openly grateful of having been accepted by their social circle. Time loses all meaning at Hill House as the participants in Dr. Montague's story settle into a routine. They spend their days exploring Hill House and napping because beginning on the second night they are kept away by ghostly disturbances. Nonetheless, the little group is elated by the evidence they find of a bona fide haunting. Montag's prized piece of evidence is the undeniable coal spot, which exists at the entrance to the decrepit nursery. At the night, the group feels frightened, but during the day, the spirit of adventure lifts their spirits. Things become more complicated. However, when a lover's triangle develops between Theo, Eleanor, and Luke, both Theo and Eleanor pursue Luke. Both women encourage and allow Luke to pursue them. Yet behind the scenes, sparks fly between Theo and Eleanor. Theo's vaguely defined relationship with her female roommate hints at her sexual preference. Eleanor finds herself responding more to Theo's seductive ways than to Luke's flirtation. However, unlike Theo and Luke, who are both just looking for a summer fling, Eleanor is looking for her happily ever after. She chooses Theo as her life's companion and announces to the shocked Theo that she intends to follow her home and move in with her. To dissuade Eleanor, Theo's interest in Luke takes a sharp upswing. Eleanor jealously simmers below the surface and gradually builds to a boiling point. When a message about Eleanor appears on the walls, followed by a supernatural attack on Theo's room and belongings, the party begins to fear for their physical safety. Although the learned Dr. Montague insists that the ghosts of Hill House cannot harm them, he pointedly comments that poltergeist phenomena can cause damage in the physical world. Everyone begins to suspect Eleanor of causing the frightening phenomena, especially Theo, who outright accuses her of seeking revenge and attention. The evil that lurks in Hill House thrives on the growing enmity between the two women. In fact, Hill House seems to be waging psychological warfare on Eleanor and Theo, driving a wedge between them. The behavior, thoughts, and feelings of these two women early echo the relationship between the Crane sisters, two little girls who grew up in Hill House decades ago. The Crane sisters also had a falling out over a man, and it seems at times that their resentment Eleanor feels is really the resentment of the eldest Crane sister. The older sister, like Eleanor, became an old maid after losing her view to the younger sister. The vindictive and painful emotions of this family battle still reside within the house and feed Eleanor's own sense of loss and thirst of revenge. The reader cannot be sure whether it is Eleanor or Hill House that is truly responsible for the increasingly threatening manifestations. In Eleanor, Hill House has found a perfect vehicle for reliving the tragic struggles of the past. Dr. Montague notices how deeply ensnared Eleanor has become by the ghost of the house. He insists that she live for her own safety. Hill House, however, having claimed Eleanor, has no intention of letting her go. As Eleanor drives away from the house, she feels compelled to speed up and turn her car towards an ancient tree at the bend in the driveway. Feeling triumphant, Eleanor thinks she's discovered a way to stay at Hill House despite having been so rudely kicked out. Only in the final moment before her car smashes against the tree does Eleanor's lucidity return. She wonders why she's doing such a disastrous thing, but it is already too late. Hill House has claimed yet another victim to add to the long list of mysterious deaths and supposed suicides which have taken place on the grounds.